This is so true. You know, sometimes you have to make moves to make moves. Quick disclaimer, I like to cherish the moment and take my time when I'm unboxing a fancy tech item. My apologies if I take too long, but let's do this. I feel like I'm kind of nervous. I have no idea why. It just got real. It just got real. It just got real. I like the box, guys. Simple and effective. Nothing Phone 4A Pro. We get the device on the cover. We get the colorway on the cover. This is great. You know, I like this. This is underrated. Having a nice little message when you open up the phone makes you feel good, you know? It says this phone is anything you want it to be. It can be just a phone, but it also is your path to a community of creative minds out there making things. By using it to create and by sharing your ideas, we can build something special together and make sure our products work better for you. Welcome to Nothing. We're happy you're with us. Nothing.community, playground.nothing.tech. So inside here, what do we have? The case, which I love that they include a case still. I mean, I see some people have a negative connotation towards it, but it's like, what do you guys expect? OtterBox from 2009? Come on. You get the cool translucent SIM card ejector, your booklet, and your USB-C cord. Nice. Now to the most exciting part, the phone, the reveal. Whoa. I haven't even wrapped off the wrapper yet, and it's super nice. Wow. Okay, the moment of truth. Can we get this wrapper to pull off nicely? Wow. That is clean. That is super clean. I love this color, man. I love the pink. Wow. Whew. It's sleek, it's modern, industrial, futuristic. It feels really good in the hand. It's got a good weight to it. Feels super premium. That aluminum is a nice touch. Great job by the Nothing design team for sure. You guys are probably wondering, Cam, why did you go with the pink? And I gotta tell you, it looked like I got the best of both worlds. It looked silver to my eye, but it's almost like someone went in there with a pipette and did a couple droplets of pink on there. And depending how you look at it, you get both colors. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but that's how I see it. Really cool, great job. Immediately, I noticed the camera modules on this thing look massive, in a good way. It looks like they could fit a 1-inch sensor in this thing, and even comparing it to the 3A Pro with its large camera bump, it looks bigger. So with that being said, I needed to do some initial tests, and what better way to do that than to release my debut short film, The Fruit Rack, all filmed on the Nothing Phone 4A Pro. It was at this point I felt accomplished. I felt like I really did something in my life. The birds were chirping, the sun was out, and then I quickly realized I need to get back to making this review. So my initial impressions, besides the really great aesthetics and looks in the Nothing Phone 4A Pro, was the haptic feedback when typing. Super satisfying, very clicky, something you would feel like you'd find on a higher end device, not just a mid-ranger. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Incredible. Another thing that I noticed was the Glyph Matrix was indeed a lot bigger. I was caught off guard because in photos, they're saying it's a lot bigger, but it didn't feel like it was. But in comparison, I know this is a piece of paper, but I do have the other phone. Insert the B-roll here. Thanks. Appreciate you. Yeah, really nice touch. And it makes me wonder what's going to happen on phone 4. Do they go even bigger? Or do you get the same display with more LEDs? That's a good question. Another thing that I really like about Nothing that I'm continuing to appreciate with the 4A Pro here is this Glyph Matrix is kind of giving you a bridge between a dumb phone and a smartphone, which is nice, you know? Encourages you to keep the phone face down. Let the important notifications come through, forget the rest for later. These essential notifications are going to be clutch. I need more time to kind of mess around with it, but the principle of it's great, especially if you're trying to reach productivity and don't want to be bothered with random texts or calls, or maybe you just want that one incredibly important email to come through and have the Matrix notify you when it shows up. Essentially, make your rule for what app you want, set your glyph symbol, and get back to your task. And apparently I'm shocked also by the always-on glyph toy. You can get the time so you're no longer tempted to flip your phone or even touch it for that matter, because we all know how that goes. Next thing you know, 30 minutes down the drain on absolutely nothing. Classic. And how about that glyph timer? Could be your next Pomodoro timer right on your phone, no app needed. Though it is possible this could also be distracting as you watch the animation play out in the Glyph Matrix. In any event, it's useful and it's fun. And then they have those monochromatic icons that really just make you feel less stimulated. You don't always have to go into all the social media apps all the time and waste, look at the difference. And waste all your time because you're like, oh, Instagram, oh, Facebook, oh, whatever. No, this is kind of calming. Look at the difference. This is calming, all right? Soothing. Says, hey, I have a phone with all the apps I need, but I don't have to use them. I decided I needed to get back to the camera just for a second because we'll test more of that in the next video. I just wanted to appreciate how aesthetic the red recording light is. It's oddly satisfying. That red recording light reminds me of a Firefly, but with better light frequency. I love it. Now, I didn't want to bore you guys, but for those interested, there's a fair amount of things to play around with in the settings, and it's kind of intriguing to go deep there so you can see what random things you can find. For starters, the Glyph Matrix setting interface is full of controls, your ringtone sounds, which I'll play all of those at the end of the video because, let's be honest, no one was sticking around for that if it was in the beginning. And while we're at it, we may as well show you the notification ones too, because why not? Then, as discussed earlier, there's the essential notification section, then the flip to glyph, which has a myriad of controls, muting the ringtone, always on glyph toy. That solar one is pretty cool, but using the clock, however, is very practical. Then there's that wiggle color reveal, nothing showed in their videos. Pro tip, you have to turn on the glyph for volume control. I believe it was off by default, but I like this feature nonetheless. Now, we touched on the glyph timer, but then we get to the glyph progress. Hopefully we'll see more third-party additions. Not sure what they could be yet, but someone will think of it. And that brings us to the intelligence toolkit, essentially showing you all the AI features that are on your device. Here are some essential key controls. And speaking of which, a nice change. How about that essential button on the side all by itself? Nice move. Also in this section, you get some ChatGPT integration controls. And then you get to the lock screen settings, which I don't get too crazy with, at least at the moment anyway. Following that is the customization section where you can switch those icon packs, pick your grid layout, and change your wallpapers. The mode section lets you, I guess, pick a time to not be distracted, perhaps like your Bible study group or a hardcore exercise routine that you want to stay on track. Scrolling down, you get the display settings. You can set that refresh rate to 144 Hz, as by default it's on the dynamic mode. I also see there's a screensaver section, which I never knew, but now that I do, I'm going to use it. You can choose from the clock or a kind of wavy color changing background or even your photos. And for the last two sections I just wanted to show you was the special features where you can turn on that end dot font to see throughout the settings. Then you'll see things like game mode if you're a big gamer guy, RAM booster, and gestures. Let me tell you, that 3-finger screenshot is just clutch. And lastly, the tips and feedback section, which even if I don't use, I love that this is here. It lets you become familiar and helps you get the best out of your device. Oh, and honorable mention is the about section. It's just visually pleasing with that device picture showing. That's all I had to say about it. So in short, what I meant about let's redo this is simply, I'm gonna make a follow-up video. I have to dive deeper into the camera, do a more specific test, put it through its paces, check all the different lighting conditions with these sensors, and see what it can do. Also, I just had a hard time getting this video done. It felt like everything was just discombobulated, A lot going on in life, a lot of exciting things, a lot of fun, but also just, it was hard to get into this video and feel like I was covering my bases of what I wanted to talk about. But nonetheless, we're here, and this is what happened, and these were my impressions. And now I hopefully will see you guys in the next video. If you guys could hit that subscribe button, it'd be pretty awesome, and I appreciate it. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Oh, and if I make this shot, you have to subscribe and watch the follow-up.
Sweet.